everyone. Welcome to the first episode of our podcast. We're changing it over from our videos to now these weekly, monthly, correct?
We're going to judge it, I think, based on how fun and how many stories and feedback and stuff like that we get. I think we should do it that way.
Yeah, I like that too. So based on how it goes, how you guys like the podcast itself, we'll do our uploads based on that. But our podcast is called
I Do Declassified. So shout out to Cameron because she's the one that gave us that title. So she'll be getting a coffee gift card.
Yes, Starbucks, right?
Gotta love that Starbies.
Oh my gosh. When Bri and I have a second to go get Starbucks, we're going and getting Starbucks.
Absolutely.
There's no yes or no. It's like, if I'm going to get Starbucks, we're getting Starbucks.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, it's I Do Declassified. We're excited to start this. We hope you guys can see more of our personalities and how we just banter back and forth and how we can have a connection with our soon-to-be couples that we'll have.
Yeah. So definitely offering tips and trends. My favorite part is hearing from the couples or hearing from anyone really about crazy things they've seen at wedding, awesome things they've seen at wedding, wild things they've seen at wedding, just kind of pulling that in and hearing a bunch of people's experiences. I think that's going to be so much fun. So we have a couple today, but I segue that into saying, make sure you send us your stories. Whether they're good, bad, crazy, amazing, we want to hear them all so we can put it on our podcast.
Oh yeah, and it'll be fun for the viewers to hear, even if they are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try not to name drop. Let us know if you want to name drop, but let's try not to, so that it's more of anybody will share their stories based on whoever it is.
For sure, anonymous that way.
Yeah.
You're not feeling like we're calling. I don't want anyone to feel like we're calling them out. So
True.
Yeah.
And then their relative finds out that they talked about their past wedding, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, how dare you?"
Yeah,
now that's public.
Exactly.
We don't need
that. Yeah. So I'm super excited. I think. Oh my God.
Thunder.
There's thunder happening. Since when was it supposed to rain? So just a little bit about us. I think for those of you who are new here, obviously it's our first podcast, so we are super excited. However, if you have never been on our social media pages before, if you are new to Ali and I guess is what I want to say, then we welcome you. But to give you some background, we are both wedding coordinators for Capriotti's. So you'll see us at Capriotti's weddings. Sometimes Ali does a lot of those at offsite weddings like Gravers, at Bellagio Fields for those weddings when they happen. And just kind of helping to make your day, I don't know, what do you want to say, as stress-free as possible?
Stress-free.
Yeah.
You cannot imagine the comments I get from brides after. They are like, "You have made my day so much more," not just myself, Bri included. I'm not saying just me, but we have made their day. I learned from you. So whatever I know, I learned from Bri. But they are like, "You have made my day so much more stress-free." And it was like, they don't see this at every venue. What we have to offer here is very unique, and we want to share that with you guys so you get to really see that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So helping with day of coordination, helping with setup and breakdown, just making sure all your vendors are on the same time frame.
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing, because brides have a million different details. So if we can just kind of narrow it down and help all the vendors be on that same page, then that is, I think, a lifesaver for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So then the bride the day of isn't like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Well, we know.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't hire another wedding planner as well, but it's we're here. We're here to help you. Throughout your way, you can ask us any questions.
And that goes through the planning process too. I mean, we're here during answering a bunch of emails. We're here during the week. I have brides all the time. "Hey, sorry to bother you." And I'm like, "No, you're not bothering me. This is literally what my job is. I want you to ask the questions. You're doing it one time. We do it 5-6 times a weekend. Like, ask us all the questions.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about us. So I guess one other thing just to mention would be, so we are located here in McAdoo, so that's Capriotti's. We have Bellagio Fields, that's in Cunningham. And then we also contract specifically, or exclusively, I guess I should say, with Graver's Tree Farms. So that is in Tamaqua. So we're covering a distance, but we also do offsite catering too. So yeah, I encourage you to reach out to us. Really, if you're planning your wedding anywhere, if you want catering or if you want the full event, that type of thing. And sometimes we run promos. Like currently we're running a promo for weddings booked here, that if you book your wedding, and it's only a limited time, so get those calls in.
Right.
Let's get that tour happening, because if you book your wedding here, we are now offering free wedding invitations or a free shuttle service. So that's weddings booked here at Capriotti's in McAdoo. So yeah.
And we'll hook you up with those people directly. So the shuttle service that we're working with, or the invite person that we're working with. So you'll be able to talk to them and see their specialties as well. So that's fun too, connecting with our vendors there.
Yeah, I'm really excited too, because we're going to pull some vendors into our podcast some weeks, and some of them are, you'll see true personalities come out, and just a ton of different information. Like there is so much information out there about weddings and everybody's specialties, and super excited for that part.
Right.
Yeah. So Ali, why don't we start with some trends? Should we start off with that?
Yeah, let's start with some trends going on, because this could be relatable to people that have planned already, that they had their wedding or to come. So a trend that I am really loving at the moment is the dress change. So afterwards, and I didn't know that I would like this trend, because traditionally speaking, like coming into this industry, I'd be like, oh, why would they do that? They spend so much money. But like these brides have been bringing it. Like their second dress is
fire. Yeah.
Yes.
I just did a wedding and her second dress was stunning, like, but very comfortable. Like actually this bride had multiple dresses for her weekend. And each one I was like, whoa, like, oh, yes, next one every time.
Make it a fashion show.
Yes. Absolutely. I loved it. I thought it was great. And she was so much more comfortable when she was dancing. Like it's just, yeah.
Yeah, they're not worried about if their heels hurt. I mean, I know the heels come off anyways, but they're not worried about ripping their dress or whatever else.
How heavy it is.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's not to say that you have to go out and buy like $1,000 like dress. There's some very reasonable but very stylish and like simplistic second dresses that you can change into, and they're just as great. Like it doesn't have to be an astronomical, payment that you're making. Yeah,
I'm loving that trend.
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of move on to tips. I think this kind of goes hand in hand. One thing that I like to reiterate to all of our couples is RSVP dates. We see it so much more now, where people just are not responding back. They're not sending their RSVPs in. It could be that they never get it with the mail. I know during COVID that was like a major issue. It could
COVID's long gone.
Yes, absolutely. But I don't know if the USPS knows that.
You don't know.
But yeah, I think that the biggest tip, if I had anything to talk about this week, it would be like make that RSVP date for a month prior to the wedding. You want to have that time to track people down. And I don't think that it's rude to reach out. You never know, like they could have sent their response back and you just didn't get it yet because again, it's in the mail, or maybe husband thought wife sent it and wife thought husband sent it. So like there's different things that could happen. But if you set that RSVP date for a month ahead of time, then at least you have that wiggle room to reach out to people and say, hey, I just need to know if you're coming, because like for our venue in particular, we have your final details appointment 2 to 3 weeks before the wedding, where we need to talk about your head count so we can give our kitchen a heads up so they know, how much prep is going to be involved and what they need to order and things like that. So at least you have that like week to 2 week buffer to reach out to people if your RSVP date is that month ahead.
Yeah. And most of the time people know if they're not coming to a wedding
Right.
or not.
By
Like,
a month ahead.
that like people financially sometimes can't make it to all these weddings. Like there's a bunch of weddings.
Mhm.
You're not going to offend someone. They're going to be more mad if you don't send them in the RSVP. And then you're like last minute, oh, I don't want to come. But the whole
Right.
time you knew you weren't going to come. Like,
Right.
just send it
Right.
in, guys.
Yeah, for sure. That is one thing that I am like, oh, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine as the couple. I mean, I guess I can because I'm married, but like,
Yeah, you experienced it.
however, like from a venue's perspective, like we need those numbers. Like our kitchen, we now again, right now we don't have as much issues, but like during COVID, you know, there were shortages on things. We needed to have numbers early on because you don't know if you could get the chicken in time or whatever. So, you know, from a venue's perspective, it is so important to have, you know, those numbers for whatever guideline your venue is giving you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good tip, Bri.
Yeah. You want to talk about our weddings that we've had recently?
Yeah, let's talk about some weddings. We've had some fun ones.
Had some really fun ones, some really good groups of people.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to really name drop people here. We're just going to kind of tell you some of the things that we saw that we really liked. But weddings have been doing here at Capriotti's. I like when they do the generations past, like they do wedding pictures from all their generations. Yes. I see this at Gravers too. I don't know where else we see it, but we see it a lot recently, and I love looking at them pictures. Yeah. And I know the guests definitely do as well.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. And that is also something kind of newer, I think. I haven't seen that much other years, but I'm loving it.
One thing that I wish was out, maybe I shouldn't say it, but candles. But they're never going to be out.
Yeah.
Like the candles, this is my thing. Candles will burn so quickly. So you have to think that into consideration. If you want to do electric candles or if you want to do burning candles.
Right. Or if your venue even allows it. Right. I don't know. I'm on the candle train.
I know you like the
candles. I love a nice tapered candle. I love candlesticks down a long table. I love candles.
Yeah. Whatever you decide is fine by us. We will make your day come true however you want it. But that is something you have to look at. The burn time of a candle. You have to really consider that.
Right. And I think there's a lot of companies out there now that are specific to wedding candles. Like if you're, for instance, going to get a tapered candle, you have to get that slow burn candle. You have to, or it's out by the end of cocktail hour.
I know. And then people are like, guys, our candles are out. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I had one wedding that just told me, like, I tried to relight their candle because one of the candles went out. And so I tried to replace it with a full one because they had extra and they would not let me. They said it's bad luck to relight a candle at a dinner table. I had no idea. So
I didn't know that either.
Whoops.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, I'm a big candle advocate.
Bri loves candles.
Even like the tea light. Like, because we have like Gravers Tree Farm, for instance, like you're not allowed to have candles there. Respect it, understand it. It's a full wood barn, like get it. But they have had some of the tapered candle looks too, and there's awesome like wedding taper candle battery operated candles now too. So like, this industry keeps up. Like you just have to look for it. Little Google searches.
Yeah, because they've been doing this too. The wedding industry knows.
Yes. Exactly.
But to segue off of that, not that I don't love candles. I like candles, but I'm more of a floral girl.
Yeah, you love your florals.
Yeah. And everybody knows that. If you pay attention to videos in the past, I did say.
She always talks about those flowers.
I love flowers. I got flowers on my dress.
Allie's gonna be that person that like when she gets married, her tables are just like 90% flowers and then like a little room for the plates. Not much, just like a little room for the plates.
Yes. Forget your plates. I'm here for the florals.
I'm here for the florals.
Should we
hold your plate and eat for all I care, as long as those flowers take up the whole table.
For real, the bigger the better. I don't care if they look tacky. The whole room is gonna be flowers.
Okay, so are you like strictly live flowers?
Oh, alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I just had a wedding and their decor was phenomenal. Like loved their wedding decor. They actually did have a decorator come in, so shout out to Cheryl at Ocala.
I already knew.
She has a piece of my heart with her decor, that's for sure. But like
She
they
is
had
phenomenal.
all fake because they really wanted tulips. The bride loved tulips. Well, it's not tulips.
Yeah.
So they did all fake florals and it was a ton of green and white everywhere. It was gorgeous. Like I loved it. It was so nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's really good.
She's good. She knows what she's doing. Yeah, for sure.
She's good.
Let me think also at some of my weddings recently.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite thing about the weddings that I have recently done is that they all have so much personality. Like very different brides from week to week, but such big personalities, and their dance floors were constantly full, and they just loved their guests, like their family, their bridal party, everyone was just having a great time. They loved the like wedding party atmosphere and just really made it enjoyable.
Yeah. You know, I get sad after dealing with these brides all the time. I get sad when I can't be at every single wedding.
I
don't know about you, but like I get upset. I'm like,
Yeah.
I really wish I was at yours, but I also wish I was at this other girl's
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Like, it's not just one. I want to be at all your weddings.
Yes, absolutely. I know we get to like know everybody individually throughout their meetings, but like, so again, if you're new here, we can do multiple weddings in a day. So Ali and I get split up quite frequently. And then we also have our other, what we call wedding leads. And so these are people who have been trained to also run weddings that, you know, we can have a quick meeting with them, go through a folder, but they know how to read all of our notes. They know how to run everything, and they can kind of take the wheel on, you know, other events that we might not be able to go to. Because I feel like we usually get put on like on-site stuff at our venues. And then so like, if it's like, I know I get sent to a lot of the new venues. So if you're getting married somewhere and we've never been there before, and, you know, we need to, you know, chat it up with that venue and figure out their rules and regs and, you know, do what we need to do there, then usually I'll get sent to those just because we need to have that in our notes for next time we're there.
Do enjoy a good venue. I love going to Gravers.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I know Gravers is so great, and they're so easy to work with. They are the nicest people you'll ever meet, like literally the nicest.
Yeah, they have so much personality. They are like, this is their baby. Their baby, you know? It's like they have such a history there. And you've seen in our other videos. We already talked to Audrey and stuff like that, but maybe we could get Tori to come on too.
Yeah, there we go. Get both of them. So yeah, they got married there. So to them, like, this is true family farm. Like, this is their property, their homeland, where they got married. So
yeah,
it's funny because Audrey had I forget when it was, but she had like in her memories pictures from back when they got married. And it is so interesting to see what it was then versus like what it is now. Because they are constantly adding.
Yeah, she told me she didn't even get married in the barn.
No.
And I was like, what? I thought this whole thing was built for their wedding.
Yeah. No, totally different. Like totally different atmosphere, totally different setup, everything. It's really cool, like how much they've transitioned it.
Yeah. It's always fun to go there.
Yeah, for sure.
But we should probably talk about some stories we got here, because some of them are juicy.
I love it. I love the stories part.
Do you want to start with our first story, or want me to kick it off?
It doesn't matter to me, whatever you think. I'm going to pull them up here.
All right, so maybe I'll start it up because I have them here. So this story, it was a wedding they went to last year. I could say that because it's anonymous. And the groom fainted at the altar.
Can you imagine? Like, that is my worst fear.
Yeah.
Like
you
running up with a water bottle.
Faint, or anyone in the bridal party, like you are on that stage, right? That altar. And then the bridesmaid also almost fainted. And the church wasn't hot. They just started dropping like flies, this person said.
I thought you were going to say the church wasn't air conditioned. I'm like, well, that makes sense then.
No, it wasn't hot. And she said they were dropping like
Oh my
flies.
gosh. I wonder if it was nerves or like what it was.
I know. She didn't say much, but she said that. And then she said they eventually got the groom to wake up and they continued the ceremony with the bride and groom sitting down.
I wonder how long it took to eventually wake up. That's kind of like,
I know. Imagine that
equally
being on your
terrifying.
on your wedding video.
Yeah.
You should like submit that somewhere.
Yeah. Oh my word.
That can get like millions of views.
Like, I'm here to make it
Like
viral.
social media, that could go viral. No, but like we feel really bad for those people, and
Right.
that is really scary, but it goes to show that it happens, guys. Stuff happens, and
Don't
it's
lock
not
those
always
knees. Don't
it's
lock
not
those
always
knees.
exactly. It's not always your fault.
Right.
Happens.
Oh my gosh. All right, I have one too. So the best thing I've seen at a wedding is someone having a flower dude and the bouquet toss getting stuck in the chandelier. Can you imagine?
Oh my God. Everybody's waiting there too. I don't know.
Right.
Do people go up for bouquet tosses anymore, or are people like avoiding it?
I don't know. I know when I got married, I was so happy I didn't have to go up anymore.
Really?
So happy. It was so
Why do you
awkward. I don't
like
know.
it?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Is it because of like the whole garter thing? Like, don't you have to do that too?
Well, yeah. So Matt and I went to a wedding one time and it was so awkward because he caught the garter, but then the girl who caught the bouquet was like younger. They didn't have any age limits on it. And Matt was like, like
Yeah, that's
this
weird.
is too weird. So like they didn't end up like having to do the traditions or whatever. But Matt was like, that
Yeah.
was kind of like weird. And so when we got married, we did it as like the traditions, but we said like you have to be 18 and older to be able to do like the bouquet and the garter because we didn't want anybody else to end up in that situation where it was like, a flower girl wanting to catch the bouquet. And we actually did a candy toss. TT is going to kill me for saying this because he's going to be like, don't encourage this. But we did a candy toss. So anybody who was under 18, since they couldn't do the garter or the bouquet, we tossed candy over our shoulders. So it was like this big like piñata effect.
That's pretty cool though too. But like I could see why people would be dodging the bouquet, but I know like a lot of girls are like scared of it now. But like if you're of age, like come on, just have fun, right?
But also, low key, what do you think about those ones where they pinpoint someone and give it to her and then her fiance or her boyfriend proposes at a wedding? I'm terrified of that happening because I think that's just taking away from the day of like your friend. I mean, they obviously have permission from the couple ahead of time.
Yeah.
And that's
Could
great.
you
If you're that
imagine?
great of friends and like you're so happy for like your best friend getting engaged, I get it. But like if that happened at my wedding, I'd be like, excuse me, my day. My
Yeah.
day here.
Yeah. I paid all this money
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be a little annoyed.
Yeah. So yeah.
Imagine if it wasn't planned.
Oh my God. Like if you had a bride just like throw a fit because she didn't know her best friend was getting engaged there, that would be awful. Also things that like, yikes. If anyone has a story like that, send that in to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
More
I have another one here also. In my first wedding, my mother set her fingernail on fire when lighting the unity candle, and my pastor answered his phone during the ceremony. I'd be mortified.
Unprofessional.
Mortified. I'd be mortified.
It's like, was that call worth it?
I hope he was just answering to be like, sorry, I'm doing a ceremony, click. But I don't know, maybe his like daughter was in labor or something. I'll give him some benefit of the doubt. Like,
Yeah, maybe. I
don't
want
know.
to know more.
I do too. So if you send us that story, tell us more.
Tell us more about that.
Mhm.
And then we have another one here. And they said they were at a wedding during the era of Chinese lanterns.
Oh boy, I already feel like I know where this story is going. Chinese lanterns, oh dear.
And then at the end of the night, they decided that everyone should go out by the pond to send these lanterns up. And it started looking pretty. And then they started going towards the woods.
Oh my God, by woods, okay.
Where some of them eventually landed in a tree and started to catch on fire. We all knew that was going to happen.
Yeah,
huh?
I mean, that was, but still, in the woods, like, okay, so forest fire or?
That is terrifying. And she said the groom and the groomsmen took off around the pond into the woods to put it out. And then she said, I don't think he was expecting to have to do that on his wedding day.
I would think not. Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, that is terrifying.
Ugh. All right, last
Fire
one for
department.
this week. Again, send us those stories. I was in an outdoor wedding over the summer. The couple was very outdoorsy, and in one area they set up yard games. Can Jam was one of the games. The game started to get pretty competitive until my husband got a little too intense and ended up ripping his pants. We're talking full rip from his butt down to his knee. Thank God the bridal party was all staying on site because he was able to put on his pants from the rehearsal dinner.
Nice. I feel like that's something Matt would do. Is this
Absolutely.
about Matt?
Absolutely. Are they twins? Do we have doppelgangers?
No, but this is great. I mean, thank God he had extra pants.
I
That's all I'm
know.
saying.
Imagine it's having like safety pin, like from the pocket all the way down to the knee. That's a lot of safety pins.
There's a lot of safety pins. Speaking of safety pins, guys, bring safety
them.
pins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know.
Emergency.
Mm-hmm. I was also, I'm going to throw in my own story, something I thought was really cool. I was at a wedding where they had dancing robots.
Oh.
So they brought, I guess, guys dressed up like as robots, but they were on like these stilt things out to be like the hype party. Like the hype guys at a party.
Like the Jersey bridal show we went to?
Yeah. So they actually had them. It was actually at, I think it was one that we had here, and they were like coming out and just like fist bumping and getting that crowd wild. Yeah, it was really cool.
The kiddos were excited, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But I don't think anyone was expecting it because like no one had ever seen. That was the only time I've ever seen that. So nobody had ever seen that before. It was really cool.
Yeah, I've never seen it before I went to the bridal show, so that's cool too.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, guys, I think that was episode 1.
Yeah.
That was a good round. That was fun.
I liked it. I liked it.
Me too.
So send us those stories. I want to hear about the best. You went to your cousin's wedding and it was the best wedding ever. Why? Tell me. Tell me what made that day.
True. Yeah. It could be like boring to you, but it might sound fun to us.
Mm-hmm.
Because every wedding is unique and worth hearing about, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's definitely, everybody's got different personalities. Everybody's got different styles. Everybody's got different things they've got going on. So it's all really fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us on I Do Declassified episode 1. We will continue keeping you updated on tips, trends, stories about amazing things people have seen at weddings. Get some vendors on here, have you meet a couple different people. And you'll get to hear all about Ali and my weddings that we've had.
Yeah, I'm excited. And guys, don't judge us off the first podcast. It's going to get more structured throughout, we promise. But this is the first round. So
we're excited. We're excited to keep building it. When my face doesn't match the color of the wallpaper. So
literally. No, me too.
I'm blending in a little bit in this
Why
room.
did we pick these rooms?
Next time. We'll be better next time.
We'll be better next time, guys.
All right, guys, have a good one. If you are planning a wedding, reach out to us. Like we said, you do this once, we do it multiple times in a weekend. So ask us those questions, give us your feedback. Let us know if there's anything you want to hear on our podcast.
Yeah, let us know. Have a great day, guys.